Ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin this video by asking you guys a question. Do you think it is a good idea for Edwin Sifuna and Linda Mwananchi to work with Rigathi Gachagua? Let me know in the comment section whether it's a good idea, bad idea, or whether they should not consider it. Because the issue of Rigathi Gachagua has always been at the center of ODM politics for a very long time. As a matter of fact, even when Raila Odinga was still alive, he used to refer to Rigathi Gachagua as Gashetha. But Edwin Sifuna and his team have declared that they are going to work with Rigathi Gachagua. Do you think it's a good idea?
Tumeamua kuendelea mbele, tutaleta marafiki wengine mpya ili tushinde huyu mjamaa ametesa wa Kenya miaka hii yote. Si lazima tutoe Zakayo. Si lazima tutoe Zakayo. Ndio sababu tutaleta milima yote tukifanya kazi na Irungu Kang'ata, tukifanya kazi na Rigiji, tuunge serikali mpya mwaka ujao. Sisi hatuogopi.
And the response from Odinga's camp has also been very fast and furious.
Secondly, we will not support any formation whatsoever ambaye iko na mtu ambaye inaitwa Rigathi Gachagua. Hiyo ndio jambo langu mbili. Ya tatu, nimeleta salamu ya bibi yangu. Amesafiri, ameenda ng'ambo, amesema nisalimie mama.
And even within Linda Mwananchi, we've seen Amisi leading a group who are opposed to Linda Mwananchi working with Rigathi Gachagua.
Na tunaambia Sifuna, mnajua Sifuna? Mnamtambua? Mimi ndio niliunda ile chama inaitwa Kenya Moja, ikakuja ikakuwa Linda Mwananchi. Na nikamwambia hawa vijana hata kama wapendi William Ruto, hawapendi Munyoro. Sasa huwezi toka kwa William Ruto ati unaenda kwa Munyoro. Hapa tutakuambia bwana, kichwa yako sio timamu. Sawa sawa? Kama unatoa William, weka mtu ambaye anakaa mzuri. Hata watu wa William watakubali, si ndio? Lakini utoe William uweke wa Munyoro, utabaki peke yako.
But Linda Mwananchi has insisted, because you also know that when it comes to politics, it's a game of numbers. Rigathi Gachagua has those numbers.
Who becomes the president of this country, as long as it's not Kasongo? Get us right. Even if it's Gachagua, even if it's Edwin Sifuna, even if it's Babu Wino, even if it's Majimbo Kalasinga or James Orengo, as long as it's not Gachagua.
Sababu hawa ndugu zetu kina Rigiji wakienda peke yao, mimi najua watashinda Ruto, lakini watamshinda saa 8. Sisi wana Linda Mwananchi tukienda peke yetu tutashinda Ruto, lakini tutamshinda saa 8. Lakini wananchi wanatuambia hii kitu wanataka tumalize saa 12 asubuhi. Tika oe. Wangapi wanasema tumalize saa 12 asubuhi?
In this video, I want us to look at the move by Linda Mwananchi to declare that they are going to work with Rigathi Gachagua. Before I do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, my take on this issue are as follows. Number one, the choice. Do you think ODM supporters, as they are, people who believed in Raila Odinga, if you are to give them William Ruto and you give them Rigathi Gachagua, who would they pick from the two? That has been the center, because I remember at the initial stage, even people like Edwin Sifuna, this other group, they really didn't want to associate with Rigathi Gachagua. And Oburu Odinga's camp used to use Rigathi Gachagua as a scarecrow, particularly in Luo Nyanza. For example, in Luo Nyanza, just tell people, you either vote for Ruto or Rigathi Gachagua. And the choice is normally obvious. So it's going to boil down to the choices. So that's number one. Number two, and this is something which should worry Linda Mwananchi. Will they move to work with Rigathi Gachagua, create division within the outfit? Will factions emerge as a result of that decision? Because already we're seeing Amisi making it very, very clear that us, we want Sifuna. And we cannot allow you to say we can't work with Ruto, then you work with Rigathi. If anything, what we said, kufa dereva, kufa makanga. So the issue as to whether the move will create factions is something which is actually going to be a major factor moving forward. Because let's face it, Babu Owino wants to become the governor for Nairobi. For Babu to become the governor for Nairobi, he must have the support of the entire Luo nation. And assuming we are in a situation where the Linda Mwananchi, for that matter, a breakaway from ODM and in the ground split Nairobi, there's no way Babu can win Nairobi. So his only option now is to have the support from the ODM, if they'll follow him there, but also bank on the support from Rigathi Gachagua. Because the truth is, Rigathi has those numbers in Nairobi. So those are some of the issues. Whether the alliance will create division and factions, which already we can see might actually happen. There are people in ODM, because Sifuna is a breakaway from ODM, there are many people from ODM who are not comfortable with Ruto. There are also those who are not comfortable with Rigathi. But they are saying, we want change. So if Rigathi can support Sifuna, will they reject that? So those are the issues. Number 3 is the question of the winning formation. What is now their winning formation? You go to Nairobi. Rigathi has declared that in Nairobi, he will have his team. Already Sifuna is a senator for Nairobi. Babu Owino is a key player in Linda Mwananchi. He wants to become the governor for Nairobi. How are they going to deal with those kind of politics? Because they must reach compromise. Will Rigathi be willing to reach those compromises? Very important. And importantly, which is my 4th take on this, is Edwin Sifuna's presidency. Citizenship Sifuna is a movement. And it has captured the imaginations of the entire country. And particularly the young people. The young people are saying that for them, Edwin Sifuna must be on the ballot. Then we have Rigathi, who is coming with Kalonzo and the united opposition. So what happens if, out of their agreements, Sifuna is not the presidential candidate? Have you asked yourself that question? Let's assume we just go to, they agree, they work together, then out of consensus and agreements, Kalonzo becomes the presidential candidate, then Sifuna is the running mate. He's not the presidential candidate. How will this affect Linda Mwananchi as an outfit? and lastly is what I've talked about very briefly. The Nairobi politics. You see, ODM party for the first time might lose all seats in Nairobi, apart from maybe 2. Maybe 2. Because ODM currently has 7 seats, but they might lose all if they're not careful. If you look at Lang'ata, majority voters in Lang'ata are normally the Kikuyus. But because Raila was a president there, they liked Raila. And in most cases, they even voted for Raila's candidate in most cases. Of course, being that the mountain are the majority in Lang'ata, the issue normally is they sponsor several candidates who end up splitting the votes. So if ODM is splitting today, will Linda Mwananchi secure enough seats? Because ODM now will lose. Let's say ODM will lose. You would have expected that if ODM were to lose Nairobi, the beneficiary is going to be Linda Mwananchi. Are they going to benefit from it? Raila did something when he first won in 1992, they ferried people. Not really ferried people, but they agreed that the Luos in Nairobi were to vote in particular constituency. That was Langata. And I think Madari. That's how it has always been. Then with the time you find yourself that, okay, there's this constituency which now favors the Luos, this favors the lawyers like Westland, Madare, then there is Roraka, you know, things like those. So the question is, if ODM were to lose these seats, will Linda Mwananchi win them? Or if they both were to lose them, who will be blamed? Who will the Luya community, who will the Luo community, who will the Gusi community blame for the loss? Because if you look at it critically, those seats traditionally, Raila used to split them. Hii inaenda Waluya, inaendea Kisii, inaendea Wajaluo. And of course, someone like Elashi was a Luya, he wanted just to win the seat. So if ODM were to lose the seats, Linda Mwananchi were to lose, who will the people blame? Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.